What's up guys, welcome back to Moon Prism Studios. Today I'm going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Sailor Moon Eternal Glitter and Glamours figures by Bandai and Banpresto. But before we jump too far into this review, I wanted to point something out to you guys. So I do have all 10 Sailor Scouts of this product line. However, I will not be reviewing them all in one video. So this review I've decided will be a two-parter. So part 1 will consist of the 5 inner Sailor Scouts, while part 2 will consist of the outers as well as Chibi Moon. So if you want to see part 2, make sure you're subscribed and turn on those notifications and stay tuned for part 2. Also, one more thing, I wanted to point out that I will not be reviewing the Super Sailor Moon Glitter and Glamours figure, as I have previously reviewed this on my channel a few years back. But if you'd like to check that out, I will have a link in the description below where you can go and check out that video. Alright guys, with all of that out of the way, how about we go ahead and open these girls up. Alright guys, so the first figure we're going to review from this line is Eternal Sailor Moon. So let's go ahead and open her up. So I always prefer to open from the bottom. I'm sure there's a lot of other collectors out there that like to do that too. It's really good for if you ever want to resell in the future too. But also another thing that I love about that too is that if you're one that likes to keep your boxes, if you open it from the bottom, the pressure of them sitting on your shelf, like the weight will basically help keep it closed and it won't, stick up just because you've cut the tape. So that's also another good reason. Wow, there's a lot of pieces here. Okay, so these pieces, the wings, the stand, and one of her arms actually comes taped inside. Actually helps keep it a bit secure, which I like. Okay. Alright guys, so now we're going to go ahead and assemble the figure. I've already gone ahead and removed all the parts from the plastic packaging just to make this a little bit easier. So how about we go ahead and get started. So the first piece we're going to start with is the body. We should probably do the back bow first. Yeah, there's little notches on the back here where her back bow and her wings go. Okay, next I think we will do her arm. And we'll do the wings. First wing. And here's the second wing. It's a lot easier to install these wings than the Wonder statue, I'll tell you that much, because that was terrifying. If you guys haven't checked out my review of the Sailor Moon Wonder statue, from the Cosmos movie. I'll put a link to that down below if you guys want to check that out. Now we're going to put in her hair. Miss Meatball Head. For all my OG dub fans out there. Okay, and last but not least, we have the little stand that's included. Which goes to the bottom of her foot. And there you go. And that's Eternal Sailor Moon. Alright guys, so that's it for Eternal Sailor Moon. Now we're going to move on to Sailor Mercury. Alright, so here we have Sailor Mercury. And just like with Eternal Sailor Moon, I've already gone ahead and removed all the parts from the plastic packaging. So yeah, now all that's left to do is just to assemble her. So it seems like, in comparison to Eternal Sailor Moon, she pretty much comes already fully assembled, so there's really not that many pieces. Just the back bow, which goes on the back there, and then her little stand just snaps on at the bottom, and there you go. And there's Super Sailor Mercury. Alright guys, that's it for Sailor Mercury. Now we're going to move on ahead to everybody's favorite hot-headed Sailor Scout of Fire, Sailor Mars. So unlike the previous two figures that we just put together, this figure doesn't really come with any extra parts other than the stand. So all you really have to do is just attach the stand, and you're good to go. And there you have Super Sailor Mars. Alright guys, now that we're finished with Super Sailor Mars, let's move on to Super Sailor Jupiter. Alright guys, so here we have all the pieces for Super Sailor Jupiter. She comes with 4 pieces. You have the main figure, then you have the one arm, the back bow, and the stand. So it should be pretty easy to assemble her. So first we're going to start with the arm. And the back bow. She looks really pretty. And Sailor Jupiter is not even one of my favorite characters, but she is really pretty, and I just love that shade of green. And by the way, Susan Roman is fantastic. For all you who don't know who Susan Roman is, she was the original English dub voice for Sailor Jupiter. And I had the awesome privilege of meeting her back in 2015 at a con here where I live, and she's really, really sweet. And there you have Super Sailor Jupiter. Alright guys, that's it for Jupes. Now we're going to take a look at Sailor Venus. Alright guys, here we have Super Sailor Venus. So just like Sailor Mercury, she only comes with 2 extra parts. Apart from the main figure, you just have her back bow and her base, or stand. So this one should be a pretty easy figure to assemble. I will say it is a bit of a challenge getting this back bow on because of her hair, so that is a little harder to put on compared to the other scouts. But I will figure it out somehow. Mina, I love your hair, but it is just too long and in the way. There we go. Got it on. Okay, now we have the base. And there you have Super Sailor Venus. Alright guys, so now that we've gone ahead and opened up all 5 of the Inner Sailor Scouts, I'm going to give you guys a quick 360 close-up of each individual Sailor Scout, as well as a group close-up of all 5 of them together. So here I am back with my final thoughts on the Sailor Moon Eternal Glitter and Glamours line by Banpresto and Bandai. So right off the bat, I want to point out that these figures are incredibly high quality, especially given their price range, which is about from anywhere from $20 to $35 on eBay or any other secondhand market, unless you ordered them somewhere from Japan and can still find them new somewhere. And the fact that they're not that expensive makes them very easy to collect. So yeah, overall, you are getting Very high quality figures at a very great price point, and they come at a very nice scale too. I think they are great additions to any collection, whether that's an anime collection or Sailor Moon collection. So yeah, I would have to say that I give these figures a rating of 9 out of 10 just for their sheer quality and amazing price point. And yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I am super grateful to have them in my own collection, and I am so incredibly grateful to be able to share these with you guys today. And so that concludes my review of the Sailor Moon Eternal Glitter and Glamours figures of the 5 Inner Sailor Scouts. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to leave a like, leave a comment down below, and most importantly, subscribe. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you never miss when I post new content, as well as make sure you don't miss part 2 of this review, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys, and God bless.